2-ish years ago, I was in my second year of the media arts program at UM. I was working on an assignment in my dorm room when I got a message. It was from Nick Jenkins, and he was wondering if I would be interested in an internship working for SciShow and Crash Course, 2 new educational YouTube channels produced by Hank and John Green. I was like, I've never heard of these people, and I'm not sure if I should accept this internship. But I looked into it, and then I talked to my friend Cody about it, and then I decided why not? It's not going to hurt to like have experience on my resume, even if I don't really know what this thing is. So that's how I discovered Nerdfighteria, and it was hilarious because I really didn't know all that much about Nerdfighteria in general, and there's still some things I don't know. So when I went in to work, there were posters everywhere that said things like DFTBA and French the Llama, and like I really liked the artwork, but I had no clue what was happening with it. And the coolest thing was this year during P4A, a new Nerdfighteria term was made right in front of my eyes. Dave the Fish. Thanks, Haley. So I worked as an intern for a semester, and then I went on my merry way, graduated college, worked for several departments at UM doing media, went to grad school for a semester, then discovered there was a position open at SciShow. And I found that position on the day that the applications were due. So I scrambled and wrote up my cover letter, adjusted my resume to reflect my most relevant work. Luckily, I had everything all designed and like basically ready to go, and then I submitted that sucker. A few days later, I got a call from Nick Jenkins to interview with him and Caitlin Hoffmeister, and I almost peed my pants. I interviewed over Skype because I was working on a post-production team in Bozeman, Montana at the time, and I was so nervous. But Caitlin and Nick were wonderful to interview with, and I felt kind of so afterwards, and of course I like nitpicked everything I had said. So time passed, and I was just working, rotoscoping for this film when I got an email. I looked at it, and my eyes dilated, and my heart pounded, and I opened it, and it said something along the lines of, "Thank you so much for applying. We love your work, but we ultimately went with a person who has more post-production experience." Or production experience. I don't know. And I was crushed, as anyone would be. So I took a walk outside around the office, which was cold because it's the middle of winter, but it was a good shock to get me out of my head. Then I walked back inside and replied, "Thank you so much for the opportunity, Caitlin. I understand your decision, and I cannot wait to see what SciShow and Crash Course do next." So after that, I just kind of moved on. And I got like a few more freelance projects in, and then I was doing a media test for a full-time job that would be based out of Whitefish, Montana. And while I was in the middle of that test, like literally typing, working on it in my parents' basement, I got a call from an unknown number. And like with all unknown numbers, I let it go to voicemail, because if they really need to talk to me, they'll just leave me a voicemail, right? And they did. I was like, oh, let's see what's going on here. So I opened up the voicemail, and it was freaking Caitlin. She was like, they loved my work and they were offering me a job. So I immediately called my dad because I was testing for this one job and we had like negotiated salaries, but then I had this like other job with people I knew and it was mine. I just like had to accept it. So my dad and I talked about it, and then I called Caitlin back, and boom, I accepted the job with SciShow. And for the next 2 years, I worked with an awesome, like freaking awesome team of people. Learned so much about online video. I got promoted, I went to 2 VidCons, and I made a rat puppet. So the internship is when I first learned about Vlogbrothers, Nerdfighteria, and all that. But during those 2 years that I worked with SciShow is when I really got to like understand the community more and get to learn with like the team who makes those things. And the most meaningful thing to me about Nerdfighteria is the community and the love people show to each other. People are working to make the world a better place, providing education on subjects I would like never ever think about, and they help each other out. And I think like the most fun Nerdfighteria event that I participated in was P4A 2016. I came for one of the like really late streams and had so much fun. People are so wacky. And I made friends online that I never would have met otherwise, and friends in real life that I never would have known either. Even after my husband and I moved away from Montana to Washington, I've been able to stay connected with my Complexly cats. Plus, I am excited to take advantage of like all the events that VidCon produces so I can see Nerdfighters in real life. PodCon 2017 anyone? So I am super glad that Nick thought I would be a good fit for an internship, that I responded very nicely when I was not accepted for a job, and that I had the opportunity to work at SciShow for 2 years. Otherwise I wouldn't ever know the awesome community that is Nerdfighteria. If you would like to see how other Nerdfighters became Nerdfighters, you can follow The Road to Nerdfighteria on Tumblr or visit their YouTube channel. Thanks everyone for watching, and don't forget to be awesome. relevant experiences.